Hello everyone, my name is Chetan Kumar. I am a senior data analyst. I have over 8 years of experience working on data. So, welcome to Data Analytics World, your go-to place for all things data analytics. In today's video, we are diving into Alteryx Select tool, one of the most commonly used tools in Alteryx Designer. This tool helps you manage and manipulate the fields in your dataset. So, let's get started. The Alteryx Select tool is used to manipulate the fields in data. You can choose which field to keep, rename, change the data types, or even reorder them. It's a versatile tool that helps you prepare your data for the next steps in your workflow. Whether you are cleaning, transforming, or analyzing your data. So, how do we use it? So, to use an select tool, we just if you have marked it as your favorite, you can just drag it here to the canvas, or you can just go ahead and go to preparation tool, and as select tool is a part of preparation tool palette, you'll be able to find it here. The other way is to right click on your screen, go to insert, and go to preparation tool palette, and go and select. But the select tool doesn't work if you don't have an input. So as you can see, it's looking for an input. We don't have any input that we are feeding it to the select tool. That's why it's showing blank. So input tool requires an inlet and outlet both, right? So if we require inlet, then only it's going to give an outlet. Then only you will be able to see the result in the result window. As of now, everything is blank. To use this tool, we need to have an input. So let's drag an input tool. And if you have any doubts regarding input tool, please watch my previous video. And if you still have doubts, just leave a comment and I'll help you with that. Let's set up a connection and drag the sample superstore dataset that we are going to use in today's video and click OK. So as you can see, we have the dataset. If I take this select tool close to the input panel, as you can see, it's establishing a connection over there, right? So input tool requires an inlet that helps it to produce all the outputs, right? Let me drag it closer to the input and the connection will be established. As you can see, before it was blank, but now you have all the rows, all the columns that you're using, data types, size. So this select tool helps you with what column you're using, what type of data set you have, what is the size of the data. If there's any rename or description mentioned, you can see everything over here. And if it is not, if you want to for your business or for your requirement, you can add it. That's really a good thing that helps for the next person who is going to use it to understand things even better. Okay, now let's get started with select tool. First option that select tool gives you is to select which rows are required. If you are working on a large data set and you don't require those in a field, you only require only few fields. For example, if I am looking in here and if I only require row order ID, order date, ship date, what is the customer name and which country, and what's the postal code. Let's keep on. I want only these. I don't require these many fields. So similar to this, you will have a lot of different other format. Now I need what are the sales in those regions, right? I want to know. I can remove the postal code if I don't want. I just need the country, or even by state or city based on your requirement. What is the sales? What's the quantity and the discount? I want only these fields, and remaining fields I want to skip. Okay. So if I the select tool gives that option. Now if I run this workflow and if I click here, as you can see, we don't see all the fields. We only see the fields that we have selected, right? This is the field that we require for our analysis, and we have selected only those fields. It's showing up only those fields. Now, for example, if you want to show country on top, so the second option that you get with select tool is you can reorder them. Now you want to reorder, for example, you want to keep the country details above the customer name. You can just click on this arrow, select the field and click on the up and down arrow to move it up and down wherever you want to reorder it. And as you can see, now you can see country is here, customer name is here. Now if I rerun it, we'll have country field first and then customer name, right? That's another functionality of a select tool. Third functionality is, for example, if we have an order ID over here, right? Let's check this box. Order ID is marked as double, but I want to keep this as string. Just click and go ahead and change the data type. You feel this data type is not, so the data type that is marked here is not justifying the column that you're using, you can just go ahead and change it. Now, next step, next option, the next functionality of select tool is, as you can see, you have all the size, right? Now, this may be a value that's not justifying. It's just a random value, right? You can just go ahead and change the size. So you are allocating less size for this. You don't require that big size, right? Of for that column, the space for that column. The fourth option is rename. So for example, if you're using order ID and for this is the primary key for this particular data set. So if you want to reorder it and mark it as primary key, you can go ahead and mark it as primary key. For example, I write here as order ID and this is the primary key. So now if I run this and click here, as you can see, it is showing up as order ID as primary key. So this helps the next person to understand, okay, this is the primary key in this particular data set. And even you can write a description that this is the primary key. Description won't show in the result window. Description is all just to let the next person know you have changed the name, why you have changed the name. So this is the reason behind, or if you have not changed the name, if you want to explain about this particular order ID, why this is marked as primary key, you can just mark it here, write it in the description. So the next person who is working on it, they will know that why it is used. This is a primary key. So these are the multiple options that you functionalities of a select tool that you get. So before before closing, I'll give you some best practices and tips to use select tool. First thing to you when you're using a select tool, remove unnecessary field. Use the select tool to remove fields that you don't need for your analysis. This reduces data clutter and speeds up your workflow. Use descriptive field names. That's the second thing. Rename your fields to make them more meaningful, especially when sharing workflows or collaborating with others. Third thing, check data type early. Adjust data type early in the workflow to avoid issues later on your running analysis or creating reports. Let me give you a real-time example. Imagine you have a data set with customer details including address, phone numbers, and email address, right? And but you are interested in customer names and email address for a specific analysis. You can use a selector to remove unnecessary fields, rename the remaining ones, and to make it that will make it easier for your analysis. The way I explained you with how we did all the process, we can follow those. Now troubleshooting. So I'll give you some troubleshooting when you get stuck. For example, if fields not showing up, right? So when fields are not showing up, please look in the previous tools in the workflow what is providing the data. For example, you have a select tool here. If I get another select tool over here, right? Now, if for example, I'm using order ID as primary key here, but if I remove the order ID here, what will happen? As soon as you click on this tool, it'll show it's missing. This tool is not available. There's no information regarding this tool. If that tool is not relevant to you, it'll throw an error first of all because it's missing, and it is selected. So it will ask why it is not there. You can go ahead and forget all missing fields, but as of now, it's the primary key. So I'll just show you. If you click on forget all missing fields, if that field is not required, that field will be gone. But if you need it, you have to go back to the previous tool and click rerun it and check where this particular field is missing in your previous in the workflow. Okay. Next is data type problem. So double check the data type settings in your select tool to make sure everything is correctly assigned. So as you can see, some data types row ID was marked as double, right? It's marked as double. And I want it as real string. It's a string value. So I changed it over here, right? You can do that, the same thing here. So that these are the two troubleshooting that you can do when you're using a select tool. So for the conclusion, in the Alteryx select tool, it's a very simple yet powerful tool that helps you clean up and organize your data before you perform any analysis or reporting. By mastering this tool, you can ensure that your workflow are efficient and your data is in the right format. And today, thanks for watching. We are watching today's video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe to more data analytics tips for data from data analytics world. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.